joining the delegación. President of the Hidalgo County of the UTRGV, Young Republic.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for the Texas Pledge, led by Alexis Muscanga, President UTGB College of Public.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. God bless the great state of Texas.
Okay, y'all can be seated. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce the Governor of the great state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott. Governor Abbott has dedicated his career to public service, leading our state through both opportunities and challenges with a commitment to the people of Texas. Under his leadership, Texas has continued to be recognized for its strong economy, support for job creation, and defense of liberty and freedom. The responsibility of leading such a large state such as Texas requires conviction and resilience. Tonight, we are grateful that Governor Abbott has taken the time to be with us. Please join me in giving a warm Texas welcome to Governor Greg Abbott.
Howdy, Hidalgo County. Great to be with you. And listen, give it up for your great chair. What a great job and what a great event. And listen, y'all be seated. I'm going to tell you a story real quick about why you need to sit down. I was at an event like this a while back when my wife was in attendance. But people didn't have chairs like you have chairs, and people were standing around. When we got home, my wife looked at me and said, "Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever talk that long while women are standing around in heels." I want to make sure all women in heels have a chair here tonight. But even that being said, I'm not going to talk about that long. We have a tremendous lineup tonight. We have so many statewide candidates who are here in Hidalgo County because Hidalgo County means that much. And one thing I'm particularly pleased about is seeing so many local candidates running for office in Hidalgo County as Republicans who themselves will make Hidalgo County great. That's what it takes. The candidates at the local level who, they go grocery shopping, they go to the gas station, they go to soccer games or whatever. They're showing up every single day in their neighborhoods. And their fellow residents and neighbors, they see who they are. And they realize, you know what? I'm not believing that communistic stuff that Tallarico's preaching. I don't believe in 6 genders. I know there's only 2 genders. That makes me a Republican because I believe in only 2 genders. To be honest, listen, along those lines, this election is really quite simple. It is common sense versus chaos. If you look at everything the Democrats are talking about, from Tallarico on down, it is total chaos and idiocy. Let me just give you a couple of examples. One is what we're even doing in this process, and that is elections. We want to have fair and accurate elections without any illegal voting. However, not everybody agrees with that. We passed a law this last session saying to vote in elections in Texas, you have to be a citizen of the United States of America. All of these Democrats, from Tallarico on down, they voted against that, thinking you don't really need to be a citizen of the United States to be able to vote in our elections. How chaotic would that be? Another issue that you all were on the front lines of, and that is our border. You can remember back when Joe Biden was president, when Kamala Harris was vice president, and you saw the chaos because of their open border policies. We cannot allow that chaos to reign again. All of these people from Tallarico on down, they stood side by side with Joe Biden, with Kamala Harris, in their reckless, dangerous, and deadly open border policies. By contrast, we just employed common sense. If the feds were not going to stand up and enforce the law as they were required to do so, the state of Texas would do it. And the way we did it, again, applying common sense, we did it in collaboration with local officials. We empowered, we funded, we supported your sheriff, your local police to work in collaboration with the state. And we had a state-led border security far superior to any state in the history of the United States of America. You know, one of those times, you guys will remember this, one of those times I got so mad. When you saw Biden allowing and actually dropping off so many people here illegally in small little towns in Texas that had no capability of dealing with them. And at the same time, we had all these people in New York City and Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia and Illinois and other places like that criticizing Texas for the way that we were responding to the border, saying that they would welcome them with open arms. So I decided I would take them up on their offer. And I began busing them to New York, to Washington, D.C., to Chicago, across the country. And they folded like a cheap tent. Remember that.
Oh, yes.
When people ask you what Democrats really stand for, remember they stood for these open border policies, sanctuary cities, and when they had to put up and actually deal with it, they could not deliver. Speaking of sanctuary cities, there's another massive difference. In Texas, I signed a law that bans sanctuary cities in the state of Texas. Democrats on the ballot, they voted against that. But listen, there's another divide that we have in our culture, and I have no idea why it exists, because it simply makes no sense. It actually is contrary to science itself. In Texas, I signed a law that bans boys and girls sports. It just makes sense. Let me ask you, really, who could be against that? I can tell you, in fact, who's against it. All of the Democrats on the ballot this time voted against that law. Something else they voted against, which is disgusting. We passed a law saying no gender modification for people who are under 18 years old. It just makes sense. But I think the only way that Jimmy Tallarico can get to 6 genders is through gender modification, because he voted in favor of gender modification, as did all of the other Democrats on the ballot. Well, let me tell you something I'm working on right now. And again, I'm approaching this just through the lens of common sense. An issue that exists across the state, and maybe here in a dog county, maybe not. But you've seen the issue about data centers cropping up all over the state. And they were doing so without any sense of regulation. The ERCOT power grid, they were in the process of adding to the grid 5 times more power than they have the current availability to deliver. I said, wait a second, is that even possible? And then I learned that the Texas legislature passed a law last session requiring all of these data centers to provide a report about what their power demands were going to be, what their water demands were going to be. And less than 10% of them completed that information. ERCOT was going to have to make a decision with less than 10% of the information needed to make the decision. So I put a halt on all data centers to give time to ERCOT, to the